Oh, I got my wispies out.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm Josh.
I'm Billy.
And I'm Ashley.
And we're here to discuss the reunion episode of Love is Blind,
Ooh,
Season 4.
It took a long time to finally watch it.
Yeah, no
sure
doubt.
did.
And it was
sure
long. This was a disaster.
I don't know if it was long or that it just started so late that it felt long.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it definitely started way too damn late because Netflix screwed it all up. So.
Can you hear us?
No, you cannot hear us. Oh,
yeah,
we
you
go.
can. We're here.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, so here's the deal. You do this live, and we know this because we've not. This is our first live episode, and I'm taking a long time to get this thought out. You have people on here. You're asking them in-depth questions to answer to what everyone's been talking about on social media. You think they're not going to sit there and take the time to answer the question? So they're sitting there trying to think. Micah's having a breakdown. She's like,
Poor
I
Micah,
need a minute.
man.
I need a minute. I'm going to cry. You feel for Micah? Oh, my God. You can't feel for Micah.
I know people
Dude,
hate Micah,
that's
but
right.
I felt for her
You can
Well,
have
she-
feelings
she was
for
doing-
Micah.
she was-
Come on, guys.
She was getting eaten alive, man. Well, she definitely wasn't out for blood like freaking Zach was saying.
I don't
man.
think so.
Yeah, and I don't think she was out for blood.
She was blindsided by that comment. She was just trying to flesh it out.
Yeah, because she made it sound like he had told her something different, afterward, and then she understood it. She's like, well, I understood what he told me before. Now I don't know what the hell he's talking about. So, and Vanessa sure as hell wasn't helping either, man. I did not like Vanessa Shea in this episode at all.
I don't like how she let Jackie off the hook so easy.
I don't like how Jackie and Josh weren't there.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, man, they're cowards,
We
man.
don't like a lot.
Jackie and Josh were cowards from hell,
Yep.
and I'm glad Marshall brought it up. And Vanessa, dude, was like taking Jackie's side. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't get that at all, man. Like Vanessa pissed me off this whole time, man. Like she kept cutting people off, right? And then when it got down to it, she was like totally taking Vanessa's side, and then she like belittled Marshall, like, you know why that shit didn't work? Because you got this man right here, And I was like, dude, like, how the hell are you taking her side? And then she was like, kind of just, kind of throw questions at Marshall and like putting him on the spot. And I was like, dude,
What did you think how everyone looked? This is a year later.
everybody looked good.
All the couples are still together. No drama really there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiffany looked a little more fit. Everybody
Tiffany looked
good,
great.
Man. Yeah, she looked awesome.
Brett was styling as normal.
Yeah, no, it was good. dude.
Zach sporting a beard, looking pretty
I
good.
actually like Zach's beard, man. I thought it looked pretty good on him, man.
Well, he got a haircut because his Instagram,
he got cut a little bit short.
he had a crazy beard, but he also had some crazy top hairs.
Now
so.
Paul's wearing like a heartbreak shirt, and he's sitting complete.
Opposite
Like he
end.
couldn't sit further away from Micah.
Yeah, nah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shirt was cool, right? What happened for this? But, I don't even know if I like Paul's answers to some of the stuff,
I don't. Well, I mean, he was smart initially,
Right,
but
yeah, but
I don't know.
then the way he started answering stuff later, it was like, come on, man. I think there was so much that was still left uncovered in this, it's still, I've still got questions about it, right?
Well, I think they said it a lot. They all said it a lot, that there's a lot that we don't know, and conversations that have happened in the background. And so there's definitely, you can tell from Zack and Paul's little interaction and his whisper action to Paul that there's conversations that have happened there. But
yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I do think Micah had a point of like, I didn't know anything about that comment, and Paul didn't defend himself saying, yeah, you did. Let's not.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Paul started off saying the right stuff and just said, I think it was kind of taken out of context, but then Nick Lachey ain't going to let him off the hook.
Right,
and starts to probe that a little bit, and he kind of like doubles down a little bit.
Yeah.
Nick was diving deep.
I like Nick. Nick was like, I'm not letting you off the hook that easy.
No, and Nick, and the way Nick was going about it was good. And Nick would actually let people talk, but Vanessa just kept cutting people off, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that, the whole Micah Paul thing after that, because
it's pretty deep.
Just watching the show, it made it seem like it was all her, but then after this, it's like, it sounded like there were some issues. There were some issues both sides there. So, but again, going back to freaking Jackie, the fact that she's like, oh, I've grown. Like, no, you haven't, because you're too much of a freaking coward to even show up to the damn show.
They wouldn't let anyone off the hook about saying they've grown. Like, they were laying into
Irina.
Because
that's
but
an
they
excuse.
didn't do that for Jackie.
No,
like
yeah.
they would.
No, they let
Irina
Jackie
kept
off
trying
soft.
to say the whole generic. Yeah, I am ashamed of the way I was. You know, I've grown and I've learned from that.
Yeah,
And
of
they're
course,
like,
the audience laughed at her, dude.
"Eh."
The freaking audience laughed at her. It's like, damn.
But they weren't letting her get away with that. But they let Jackie get away with that.
Oh yeah.
But we learned a lot from this episode. Like Brett doesn't even live in Seattle. That
No, we
kinda
never. Yeah,
surprised
they never
me.
showed us that. I mean, we knew Kwame lived in Portland.
Yeah.
We never knew Brett did. Right, so I don't know why the hell they didn't show us that in
And
the
he
show.
had driven home 3 hours that day
Yeah.
that she was having her little meltdown, and he sat there. You know, he had to have a day himself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He had driven 3 hours there and 3 hours back, and he still was there for her. So that was nice.
No, absolutely, man.
So, I mean, I thought that was interesting they cut that out.
Yeah.
And Kwame's sitting here complaining about it, and Brett's going through the same stuff.
Right,
I can't
exactly.
see any comments.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys are
Thank you for
commenting.
that.
We're live, so I can't tell if you're commenting. But all right.
Oh man.
Anyhow.
But yeah, dude, like I said, Vanessa just pissed me off, man. Like the way she was like, seemed like she was taking Jackie's side and she was cutting everybody off. And I was like, man, I was not liking Vanessa Lachey in this live episode here.
I don't think you've liked her in any of the live episodes.
But this is the only live episode they've had.
That's fair. Live
Now,
in the reunion.
We've also found out, like, Kwame put on a fashion show while in the pods. Like a blind fashion show with Calvin Klein
Put on the
underwear.
Calvin Kleins, man, yeah.
They didn't show us a clip of that, though.
Well, they did, but hindsight, like seeing how they acted together, like going on the freaking boudoir photo shoot and everything, it doesn't surprise me, right? Like,
Yeah,
totally.
when they brought that up, I was like, okay, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And they show a little secret clip of Micah and Chelsea having a talk while walking their dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. You know, Chelsea kind of owned herself a little bit, or Micah kind of owned it a little bit, and you know, they gave him such a nice little hug.
I didn't even know she had a dog.
You know, yeah, we never saw Micah's dog. And we saw plenty of Chelsea's dog in the show. We never saw Micah's before.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot we don't know, obviously, because these people don't live where we think they live.
Yeah.
They have animals we don't know that they have.
But dude, it was great, freaking. You know, when they started showing the clips of Micah and freaking Irina, man, and just kind of looks on their faces and stuff. You know, I mean, how embarrassing it had to be for them to sit there and watch that. You know, it's like, damn, like now you know. And then the fact that they even called her out, you know, they're like, you know, you said, you know, you were bullied much as a kid, and look what you're doing to these people here, you know. And I was like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the living thing was a bust. I mean, who knows?
The living thing? The live thing.
Oh, the live thing was definitely a bust. I mean, that thing. Netflix, you dropped the ball on this. I mean, 8 o'clock. We didn't even see it until when?
No, dude.
About 9:30.
Yeah,
I think.
it was like 9:30 when we started watching finally. Because I mean, we started our live show here, and somebody was like telling us, "Hey guys, it's on," and we're like having to hit refresh, and finally it popped up for us. So yeah, it was a total bust. Like, I mean, I don't know what the hell was going on.
I mean,
Netflix.
Netflix. This is like the second live thing. You don't get it right. I mean, they're going to be talking about this for a while.
Oh yeah, man, big time.
And I mean, we were ready to go at 8 and hoping to do something at 9:30ish, and look at us now.
Well, and then they're even having freaking issues like the producers. Somebody had their freaking mic on, and they're like, "Oh, we're getting feed from."
Well,
somebody
there
that
was
don't
a
mic."
lot of feedback. Like I was hearing double
it was
talk,
bad.
and then you hear people laughing in the background. So, I mean, it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing Mad's comment here that Micah wasn't nurturing. She was making fun of Paul's things, style, everything. And that's true.
Oh yeah, no, she was. No
But
doubt.
she wasn't told that. Like, she wasn't told that that was his reason and everything. I mean, if they dated after, like, I feel like that's something that you know is going to air at some point in time. You say, hey,
By the
I
way,
kind of mentioned this. Like,
right.
you know, especially if you think you're going to date him. I don't know.
Now, what do you think about Irina being there?
Hey man, dude, I tell you what, man. Just like Nick said, kudos to Irina for showing up and just taking that beating. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, she knew showing up she was gonna take a beating, and she did, and she deserved it, right? She deserved a freaking beating.
But how about like when she first came in there and said, "Hold on," and then she did the little crocodile
dude,
tears,
everybody started laughing,
and
dude.
people
The
are
whole audience started
laughing. No
laughing.
one's buying
No,
it.
hell no, nobody was buying it.
I love that they had an audience there, like to react to that kind of
How
stuff.
do
yeah.
you get in that audience?
yeah.
Who's in that audience?
Right, no kidding, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, and then of course, and Zack's like, dude, I'm not buying it. But he was like, but at the, this time it doesn't matter. I forgive you. It's done. It's water under the bridge. No sense.
They spent a lot of time on Irina.
They
Oh
did,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they
And
did.
like she said her piece, she said, I'll grow, and then And she owned up to what she had done and then said that she was apologizing for it. But then they just kept digging more and they kept digging more.
And Zack just jumps in and like represents Paul at some point.
He's like, hey, bro, I got this. I'm your lawyer.
Yeah. He whispers to him, plead the fifth. Right. Nick Lachey asks you something, just plead the fifth.
Janice says that the live audience really helped. And they did.
Yeah, they did, no doubt.
We actually had to kind of pause and rewind a little bit when Zack made that comment of let's say what it is, and you came on the show to be famous, and we didn't hear the word famous. We were like, we turned on subtitles. We were like, what did she say, or what did he say? Like,
exactly. The audience is like,
the audience reacted like they knew exactly what he said.
What the hell did he say?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like she was so fake, and like, what else is she gonna do? Of course, she's gonna apologize, but
But like I say, whether she was being fake or not, at least she showed up for it, right? At least she had the courage.
I do give her credit
and the guts. Were freaking, damn Jackie and Josh were cowards as hell and didn't show up for it, right? So. Yeah,
and what did you think about his little? He was cutting. That's why he was so drunk at that. Yeah, he's like, I wasn't eating, So like when I drank.
I mean, he was pretty wasted.
That dude was toasted, man. Oh yeah, I mean, right from the get go. As soon as he walked into that place, he was drunk as hell.
Yeah, but like the Jackie conversation, Vanessa just let her off the hook.
No, dude, she totally did not ask her any of the freaking hard questions. She was like taking her side, is what it seemed like to me. Even when she was talking to Marsha, it was like she was on Jackie's side, and I was like, what the hell is wrong, Vanessa?
Do you buy the ring story?
Nah, it's bullshit. Nah, man.
Yeah, why is she keeping that
Why
ring?
do you want to keep that ring? Right, exactly. Like,
well, because she don't want to give it to him so he can give it to somebody else.
Yeah,
but the pre-recorded interview, it was like, why did you want to keep the ring? And she gave the answer, and she was like, oh, okay. And then she moved on. When they asked Marshall the question, like, she dug deeper, and she was like, well, but why did you want the ring back? And like, it was more of an attack on Marshall than it was on Jackie.
Oh, yeah, no, she was totally on Jackie's side. And like, she wasn't like, well, hey, why wouldn't you why would you want to keep that ring, Jackie? Like, why would you want to keep it? She didn't ask her that.
I don't buy it because Jackie essentially broke it off with him in that conversation. And then right then and there, he says, I want the ring back.
Exactly.
I don't think he had like these thoughts of like, I'm going to use it for another purpose or something like that. I just don't buy that at all.
No, not at all, man. No.
And I thought Marshall kind of did a poor job defending himself.
Well, that's the thing.
He needed Zack's expertise.
I don't think he felt like he needed it.
No, and that was it. He didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want to defend himself. He's like, hey, it's water under the bridge. I don't care anymore. He's like,
no, Freak Out still couldn't see it.
Oh, no kidding. Damn, that sucks.
Oh, Freak Out. You got to go back and watch it. It's up. It's available.
Yeah, you better watch it now.
Yeah.
And if not, I'm sure they'll have it posted at some point tomorrow.
Vanessa seemed to side her way with the girls, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Especially with, like I said, with Jackie, which is bullshit, man. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she was totally siding with Jackie.
Disappointed in that, so.
And like I said, then she was kind of asking Marshall the hard questions, and she freaking, just, oh, God, I'm so glad you and Josh are together, and look at you guys, and it's working out. It's like, yeah, how about asking her?
She's very happy for Jackie.
Right, like, how about asking her some damn questions about what went down?
Yeah, I don't understand why she would even want the ring at that point.
No,
like,
I don't know.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It is very tacky, Mads. I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Jackie's just not a good person, I don't think.
No, she's horrible.
And apparently she'll just make up whatever.
Right, exactly.
But Marshall would like you to move on from that.
Well, that's the thing. Even the texts that came out after, right, and all the shit she said, Vanessa's like, oh, well, I'm not going to talk about those. And, again.
Well, she couldn't remember them. She didn't want to misquote them.
She knows damn well what they said. But, again, she was kind of taking Jackie's side.
Well, see, here's the thing, I think what happened there is Jackie saw the show. She realizes how bad she looks. So now she's in damage control.
Right, exactly.
And she's trying to deflect to Marshall.
Yeah, and that's why she didn't show up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of smarter not to show up. And I don't know. Maybe they had a talk beforehand with Vanessa. Like, you're just going to ask us. What are you going to ask us exactly? Because I'm not going to answer these questions. So.
I would buy that if Vanessa didn't do to Marshall what she did to Marshall, right? But she was totally like kind of seemed like she was on Marshall's case. So I think she was just totally taking Jackie's side there, man. It was just ridiculous. I was not happy with that.
Yeah, well, Zack apparently gets along with Bliss's dad now, and they're buddies.
Yeah?
Dude, that comment when he was like, when he said, oh, when he walked Bliss up to the aisle and he gave me that look and it was a look of approval, I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, you got it all wrong.
Changed to a look of approval.
You heard the words that came out of that dude's mouth as he was walking her up to you. Like, oh, man. Like,
and I'm sure they're cool now, but
I'm sure they are.
I mean, it was rough at first.
There wasn't no damn look of approval, I'll tell you that.
The Shaw did not approve originally.
Right. Right, exactly.
No.
Yeah, it was funny when you said that, man. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I read that look wrong.
Yeah. And what did you think about Paul essentially saying, like, he was allowed to be flirtatious as long as he didn't, like...
Yeah, they had boundaries.
Yeah,
they knew
so
what
that
they
was
were allowed
interesting.
and weren't
Yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to do.
Right, yeah.
They had talked about that, apparently. Like, hey, look, we're going to go to Mexico. We're going to see people we previously dated. Flirt
It's
away.
okay to flirt,
it's
right?
fine.
No touchy, just flirt. You ain't gonna be touching none of that stuff. But if you want to flirt, fine, whatever.
If I were Paul, I'd point out that, like, I didn't touch Irina. She brushed by me with...
Right. Well, and let's be honest here. I mean, that was one little flirt session, too, right? And it wasn't even that bad with him and Irina. I mean, Micah's were a hell of a lot worse with Kwame, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that he, like, owned up and said, hey, he didn't, like, throw it on her. He was like, look, we have this agreement. If we flirt with their people, that's cool because we know who we're coming back to at the end of the night. So, I mean, I thought it was good of him to do that and not just be like, oh, yeah, she was way out of line, with what she did and all that, where he took ownership and said, no, we kind of had this understanding. So that was good of him to do that.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic there where, like, yeah, you go be flirtatious or whatever, but just don't touch anyone.
Right.
We know the guy here.
Cece wants to know from 1 to 10, how would we rate this reunion?
I thought it was a pretty good reunion. I thought Nick Lachey did an amazing job. I just don't know about Vanessa.
No, I didn't like Vanessa at all, man. Did not like Vanessa Lachey and how she had.
She was hit or miss for me.
Yeah, and she kept cutting people off, and then she was just totally on freaking Jackie's side. Didn't like it. The reunion as a whole, I'd give it like a 7. Because, well, number one, because it was a shit show from the beginning.
I mean, it loses points for that.
Right.
And the mic
exactly.
issues, you can hear the staff talking. It was not very well organized.
No,
but
it was bad.
The content I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, the content and the conversation was good. Again, except on Vanessa Lachey's part, right? The way she pulled the crap she did with Jackie, just basically taking Jackie's side, not asking her the hard questions. Nah, man.
I'd probably give it an 8 if I had to put a number on it, though.
Nah, I ain't giving it an 8.
I don't know.
Like
I mean, maybe if it had started on time.
Right, exactly.
It's a little late for me. I'm just
right. If it started on time, maybe
it was 8. I appreciated the update, the drama. I actually thought it was a really good season in general, but
no, it was a good season in general. No doubt about it.
So, Barstool's guest appearance, I did find it funny that he was the only previous. Like when they queued it up, it sounded like there were going to several questions, and he was the only one that asked a question.
Right.
And yeah, he does have a baby.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and he was the one he wanted time to have kids, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, because remember he told Nancy, "No, I don't want kids anytime soon."
And even when he was on that other show, Perfect Match, like he was with an older woman, and he's like, "Well, if you want kids, I'm out."
I think we did the math on this one. I think he got whoever baby mama is pregnant like a month after filming.
It was probably accidental.
After filming,
it was probably accidental.
So yeah, I guess everybody's opinions change on when to start a family when you knock somebody out.
Paige is a fan of Vanessa. They carried the reunion.
Oh wow!
Vanessa carried the reunion. No.
Wow.
No, I thought the first half of the reunion where Nick was running the show was a hell of a lot better. When Vanessa chimed in, I didn't like that at all, man.
She did ask some tough questions to certain people.
Certain people who she should have asked a tough question to other people.
I feel like she went easy on some, and I'm surprised Nick didn't chime in. Maybe they would have thought that was bullying Nick, asking Jackie the hard questions, but I also think, Jack, it was a pre-recorded interview, so you're not feeling the room. You're not getting the vibe from everybody else in that room. So they got off real easy.
Oh, yeah, Jackie got off super easy.
Because,
yeah, for sure.
when there's the Micah and Paul situation, it's the way Micah responded to a question, and then Zack's response to that is like, Vanessa's like, hey, let's dive into that. And then that started even more of that conversation, and we got to dive deeper into that, whereas that may have just kind of squashed right there, which a lot of that conversation got squashed because of that.
And the thing, too, is like really the only people that got to talk during that was really Marshall, right? They didn't really get everybody else's take on the Jackie situation. And they never really asked somebody else,
else about that.
No, Jackie got off super easy, and I thought it was bullshit.
I would have liked to have heard Brett's take on that, because you hear Marshall's take on Brett and Tiffany's relationship. Because, they were really close friends, and they obviously talked to each other about their relationships and everything. So I would have liked to have heard from Brett
that'd
on
be cool.
that.
Yeah, I'd like to hear anybody's, at that point.
Anybody.
Yeah, what did you think about when they asked Micah if she would have said yes, and she got really emotional?
I mean,
it was like she had to really pull herself together there.
Yeah, because she was gonna say yes. There's no doubt in my mind she was gonna say yes. And and
I think it really hurt her.
Yeah, and Paul's full of shit, because I know damn well had she not flipped the script on him or reverse Uno'd him like somebody said before.
Flipped it.
He would have said yes. If she'd have said yes to him, he would have said yes to her. You know, I guarantee he would have. You know, so
he can't guarantee that.
Yeah, he says he can't guarantee it, but I know
he's
damn
not
well.
sure.
I know
didn't
damn well
like
he would
where
say yes.
Zack like swoops in and starts speaking for Paul,
Right.
and then he's like going off rumors, acting like they're facts at this point.
I mean,
and we've seen that in the past. With Cole, how that came back to bite.
No,
people.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, when
we didn't get that cutie scene at the end that shows us really what happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, when Zach's like, I think she's out for blood and whatever, it's like, no, she's not, dude. She's just here to freaking.
I don't think she was out for blood, but I can see the side of it, and again, they're talking about, everyone had mentioned on every different topic that there was a lot that we didn't see.
Yeah, of course there was.
I wonder if there's some truth to the fact that there was conversations behind the scenes that she was never going to say yes.
I don't know.
But I don't think he would have said yes either way.
No, I think he would have said yes, man. Had she said yes and not turned on him, I think he would say, because he was legitimately totally torn. I mean, Zack even said that. He's like, we talked for hours the night before. I mean, you saw him in the freaking, groom's room. He's like asking everybody there, what should I say? What should I say? What should I say?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that dude was completely torn. And had she not flipped it around on him, I think he would have said yes.
So some people think Kwame is a fraud. Some people think Micah's a fraud. What do you think?
I think to an extent, both of them probably are somewhat, right? But obviously, Kwame and Chelsea are still together, so something's working for him, right? I think during the show, I think he was kind of a fraud a little bit. I think during the show, Micah was a fraud a little bit, but I do think she did love Paul.
I mean, Kwame tried to minimize things, and then I like that Nick Lachey jumped in there and be like, well, why were you so emotional then when she broke up with you, Because he's like, oh, we saw it wasn't going to happen. Nah, bull crap. You know?
No. Kwame, that took him by surprise when she broke up with him, man. We saw that. There was no doubt about it. He was full of shit when he was saying that, oh, no, it was on a downhill and we were going to break up anyway. Yeah, nah. He was not seeing that coming at all when she did that.
But I do wonder how we all saw it, and I guess they just didn't ask the right question, because we all saw that Kwame was not as much in love with Chelsea as she was with him.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
At least that's what they showed us. So did the show purposely show us that? Did he have moments where he was really much more loving and towards her? That we just didn't get to see, so therefore we have this opinion. Like, is this the show's narrative to give us and not their actual relationship? Or is it all a scam?
Well, I mean, over the past seasons, we've seen stuff like that. We know the show does stuff to kind of throw us off and make us think one thing, and then during the reunion, like we just said, we had no idea Micah had a dog, but evidently she does,
She's got a dog.
We had no idea that freaking Brett lived in Portland, We knew Kwame did, so there's a lot of stuff the show leaves out.
We were able to watch the show. I don't know if people are still having issues. That sucks if that's the case, but we were able to eventually get in there.
And we didn't get into it until like an hour after it was supposed to have started. I mean, it was like 9:30 or something when we were finally, so like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, people still hard on Micah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually...
No, Les, 28. No sympathy for Micah. None, not even a little bit.
We got some hell for getting on kind of Micah's side in that last episode, but I don't know. I don't know if she's just really good at faking things or not. I'm kind of
torn. Dude, Micah's very... I mean, people call her manipulative, and she is...
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's easily, I wouldn't say she's easily manipulated, but she's easily falls in with the crowd that she's with at the time, and it just, and it sucks because, like I said, the whole, her and Irina thing, right? And then you could tell that she had a very similar relationship with her friend Shelby, right? But once Shelby started kind of turning on her, like, hey, I don't think this is good for you, and then she was like, oh, well, she didn't go with Shelby on that, but Shelby was a total asshole, dude. Like, the shit Shelby pulled when she was like, that's exactly how I wanted it to go down.
Yeah, Shelby,
was laughing
terrible.
At her and stuff. I'm surprised that, why didn't they ask her that? They were like,
someone said that earlier, that Shelby kind of got off the hook, too.
She did,
Shelby got off the hook big time, man. And I would have been like, hey, Micah, what do you think of Shelby saying that on camera, that's how, that she was happy it went down that way?
She was just being supportive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally supportive. Her laughing at you as you're walking away crying, saying that, that's exactly how I wanted it to happen. And that was nuts, dude. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, if I was Micah, as soon as I saw that, I'd be like, done. I'd have never talked to Shelby again. Freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, all right.
Y'all bringing these comments, man. I'm trying to read them and Wish Micah gave Zack the smoke he clearly wanted. Oh, so, yeah.
Zack was on a campaign for a little bit.
He was, man, yeah.
And I mean, he kind of forgave Irina in the end, and everyone said they hope she grows, but I don't know. I think
she hadn't grown at all.
I think Micah is. Somebody else said it on her like press tour that she's fake tears or crocodile tears or whatever. But I think that she's on a road to recovery for her personality
Micah?
or her persona or whatever. So I feel like really trying to call out Zack when you can see the general vibe of people actually care for Zack and like Zack. I don't think that would have done well for her.
It was interesting that interesting that Paul and Micah tried to continue the relationship after that event.
Yeah. He said, "Well, hell, he said he went to freaking visit her in Arizona for a weekend, right?" So he said after that,
and I guess she didn't know that he said that because it hadn't even aired yet.
Right.
Maybe no one.
And he was just hoping for it to come organically.
Comment. Yeah, see,
he didn't feel the need to tell her that because otherwise, then it wouldn't be organic.
And that's the thing, right? If somebody does something a certain way and so if I gave somebody, tulips and they're like, oh, but I really like roses. Oh, thanks for telling me. Now I know what flower to get you next time, right? Yeah. If you're not going to tell people like how things make you feel, then that's on you, right? I mean, he should have told her, how the kind of vibe he was getting from her or whatever, just like, anybody should tell, the person they're dating the kind of vibes they're getting from them. They should be able to tell them that. And, and he said that, oh, well, you can't make somebody change. No, you can't. But if somebody loves you and they're like, oh, that makes that person feel bad, then hey, I need to do it this way. That's not going to make the relationship crumble, like he was saying.
Well, and if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. It didn't happen organically.
Right.
Yeah, and I do agree, Ray, that they were all politicking and minimizing things, and that's where like Nick and Vanessa need to come and bring it out, and they tried to a certain extent and let some people off the hook, not others.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they took so much time. I was wondering because it did start so late. And they started really with the attack on Chelsea and Kwame. And they spent so much time really digging into those answers with Kwame and Micah and everything. And I was like, we still got all this other stuff to talk about. So I wonder if because it took so long in those conversations, because this is live and they can't edit it, they like kind of rushed through some of those other conversations.
Yeah, someone said Vanessa's a man-hater.
Woo.
There you go. I agree with that. At this point, after watching this episode, I think she is. Damn right.
Well, I will say this is the 4th reunion show, and I believe in every reunion show, Nick has referred to sleeping on the couch.
He has, I think. Yeah.
So, I don't know what goes on there.
But I tell you what didn't surprise me at all. Brett and Tiffany. No, it's still smooth sailing, man.
Yeah.
It's still smooth sailing. Great relationship,
all the couples are doing pretty good, actually, at this point. So.
And we didn't hear much from Brett and Tiffany, and they kind of focused on them a little bit in the beginning, and then that was it,
Because they ain't drama.
Right,
They're not going to bring the drama. However, I was surprised because I had made the comment that I wouldn't be surprised if they were pregnant. And they were talking that, they're pregnant. They're taking their time in their relationship, and they're not going to rush to that.
Yeah.
But... she was 36 at the time of filming,
yeah,
so now she's 37
now.
Yeah,
so her clock's ticking.
And then
Bliss is ready, though.
Bliss is ready, but then they go to Chelsea and Kwame, and Chelsea's like, 32?
Something like that.
So she's now 33, and she's like, yeah, my clock is ticking, but we do want to enjoy our relationship, So I wonder how that made Tiffany feel.
Ray was not impressed with Paul and his answers and the Irina flirting, but apparently Paul was cleared hot to flirt.
Right, exactly.
So,
I don't know that Paul was really flirting with Irina.
He was a little bit. He was a little bit.
I feel like it was definitely Irina with him, but I can't remember him.
No, there was some flirting there because I even mentioned him after that episode when we're talking, because poor Zack is like sitting next to them and like he's just watching this shit go down with these two flirting. I was like, damn. I was like, man, that sucks for Zack.
Them showing the supposed video of him touching the bridesmaid, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm glad they kind of brought those issues up and stuff, and that was funny.
And then he's like, let me tell you something. If anybody thinks there was anything wrong with that, I would just let her know. I was like, bro, you did touch her ass.
He was like, come on now. Well, I thought it was funny because I would expect him to say, no, I just happened to take my hand out of the pocket. You don't see it. But he was like, yeah, I was just letting her know I was brushing by. So you did touch her butt.
So, hold on. So when you're letting people know you brush by them, you touch their ass? Like, I don't know about that, man. And normally you like touch their shoulder or something, if you're gonna go by them. I normally don't go grabbing people's asses or touching people's asses when I'm trying to brush by them. But hey, whatever, man.
Yeah. Well.
And then, of course, and then her reaction.
Miss James said Micah got off the hook. Easily. What do you think?
I don't think she got off the hook easily. I mean, she did get some hard questions thrown her way, and she freaking took responsibility for a lot of the stuff she did. I mean, could they have been a little more harsh on her? Probably, but perfect. Though I think freaking Zack said it perfect. He's like, look, the shit that they've got to go through having America watch their shenanigans is pain enough, right? And he's probably right on that. Like, you got so many people hating on you because of the nonsense you pulled on the show, right? Where, I mean, that in itself is a pretty damn big punishment.
Well, I think that she got let off the hook a little easy because she took so long to answer the questions.
Yeah,
like she was very emotional to every question she asked, and then she stumbled upon her answer. So she took, and they're like, "We just can't dive deeper."
I like how she said, "I forgot I was here" or something like that.
Yeah. She's like, he's been on me so long.
So I forgot I was even here. Like, where have you been this whole time?
Yeah, they were so busy beating on Irina.
So is Kwame and Chelsea, are they for real or not?
I guess they are, man.
I like their apartment. I'll tell you that.
That apartment was nice, man. It was nice. It was a nice pad they had going. Yeah.
Peloton out there. I like
exactly.
that.
Yeah. Maybe Kwame saw that was possible. He's like, oh, forget Portland.
I mean, she went from that studio apartment where it was tiny, and he had a pretty decent apartment, I think. I mean, he didn't keep it well kept, but he had a pretty decent sized apartment.
Yeah, no, together, man, they got a nice pad. I was digging that.
Yeah.
It was nice.
This is kind of interesting. Ray brings up, this proved that Marshall's not as innocent as he pretends to be. Do you agree with that?
Oof.
I don't. To an extent, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody's an angel on this show except maybe Brett and Tiffany together. That was it, right? But everybody else had problems, right? There was a lot of stuff the show didn't show us. Nobody's perfect, and I'm sure people made comments and said things that they probably shouldn't have, to each other at one point in time or another. But I still think Marshall got the freaking shaft. And he even said it, and he said it perfectly, like, look, man, I got slighted on the show. I didn't even get to make it to the altar to say yes or no.
Yeah.
And then I'm getting slighted again because they're freaking cowards and I want to show up and talk,
the only reason why I didn't like him saying that, and this is, I like Marshall. I know I wasn't necessarily on board the Marshall train in the first episode, but I do like him. But the only reason why I have an issue with that is because I'm like, are you doing this for the experience or for... you want to go through the whole thing?
The point is to get married, not to get to the altar so you can have this confrontation. Yeah. I mean, maybe for the show, but not... The point is to get married at the end of the day.
Yeah, I wondered, And
he said he would have thought about it long and hard. But
I mean, the drama they were having, he still wanted to go to the altar.
It was really weird that he says, I would have thought about it. I'm like, after what Jackie did?
Right.
Yeah.
She pulled? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's like, I wanted to be at the altar and have my moment on TV where I got to say no because she's crazy.
I'm still thinking Marshall thinks Jackie's a project that he's got to finish or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But he was pretty classy about it the way he's like, look, man, they're happy. Just leave it alone.
I did like how he's like, let bygones be bygones. Yeah. Water on the bridge. Let's move past it. You're happy with Josh, whatever. But after they showed the video of her, he kind of took a step back. And I wish he would just confronted it more and said, that's not true. This is true, but this ain't true. Yeah. And he just kind of like, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore.
But I do think it's a little unfair that he did not have that back and forth interaction in that.
No,
he
had to Jackie totally should have been there.
Every topic in that video, two-minute video, and then try to respond.
Jackie knew damn well she was going to get blasted just as bad as Irina did had she shown up. So she was a coward and didn't show up because she didn't want to take it like Irina had to take it. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. People keep bringing up Jackie got off easy and Vanessa didn't grill her. So yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah,
got off real easy. I mean, she was to me the villain of the season. I know early on it was Irina. I agree with that, but Jackie took it to a whole nother level.
Oh hell yeah, she did. No doubt about it, man. And she totally should have showed up.
Nikki Mack. Paul should be my boyfriend.
There you go. Jump into his DMs.
Like Paul, do you?
There you go. Hit him up.
You like robotic guys, I guess. Paul is pretty emotionless, I think.
But Paul doesn't move his teeth when he talks.
He doesn't move his teeth or use much of his tongue or anything, but...
He's very analytical.
Right, but he seems like a nice guy, though.
Not emotional.
Paul's pretty cool.
Yeah, Paul is cool.
A little different. A little bit different than most people, though.
Yeah.
He's definitely a scientist, no doubt about it, man.
I really trust Kwame is the real question, and that is the real question. I don't know. I'm really torn on Kwame because I do think he's trying to sell us some false goods.
Oh, it was always my wife, my wife, my wife. In this,
he made sure he said that plenty of times.
Did not miss an opportunity to call her his wife.
Oh no. And like we said, he definitely he definitely misrepresented how some of the stuff went down in this episode, especially with the whole situation where Micah breaking up with him. He was like, "Oh, I knew it was coming there anyway." Nah, dude, you didn't know that shit was coming. He didn't know it was coming, and I think he just still. I mean, even though they're supposedly happy together, he still seemed a little bit uncomfortable with me. I guess just watching him in there. I don't know. There's just something a little bit off with Kwame.
Well, good news, Nicky Mac. I think he's single, so you might have a chance. I don't know.
That's right.
There's still a lot of people who couldn't watch this.
Oh, man.
Julia, Miss Gulia, I like your name. But yeah, I mean, at first we thought we could watch it, then we couldn't watch it, and then we were live kind of waiting for it to go, and they said they could watch it, and we finally got it.
Yeah. So we didn't even get to start watching till like 9:30 when we were finally able to get in, because we had like our Netflix kept refreshing. Finally, we were able to get in because people were telling us, like we were talking, they're like, "Oh no, we're watching it now." And we're like, "Nah, you're fooling us." Like, because we can't get in, but then finally we were able to. So
yeah, I think it was actually delayed like an hour or so, but it eventually happened. But what do you think about Marshall making that jawline comment? I mean, he admitted to that. He took ownership of that.
That's where I guess they think he's not as innocent as he.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, that relationship was just pretty toxic. I don't know how you could get out of that with not, saying anything.
Kind of
well, she throws a lot of jabs at him, and when you're being constantly attacked like that, I don't know. You're right. How do you not kind of throw a jab
that's
back?
the only jab he threw at her with all the nonsense she said to him.
Well, she was a project too.
Right. It was like
that's a little bit of a jab.
Yeah, I thought the project thing was probably worse than that in that situation, but.
For the most part, he handled himself pretty damn well, at least from what they showed us on the freaking TV anyway, right? So
yeah.
But compared to the way she treated him, the shade and the shit she said about him, man, what he did was nothing.
It's hard to be in an argument or a fight with someone coming at you like that, and stay completely innocent, unless you just sit there and stare at him in awe, like what's happening right now? I don't know.
Right.
What do you think about Zack and his singing?
Oh my God, dude, Zack's horrible. I mean, you know what though? God bless him, man, because he's willing to do that on camera in front of the world and he's got to know he sucks ass at singing, right?
Bliss loves
it. I mean, because she thinks it's cute.
We were eventually able to see it.
Yeah, because she thinks it's cute. His singing's horrible. But God bless you, Zack, because you do that for your wife, you love her. You got to know you suck. But the fact that he does it anyway, man, good for him.
Yeah.
I would try on a different device if you can't see it or something.
I got it on my phone before we could get it on the TV.
Yeah. We watched it on the Apple TV, but we were able to get it on our phone eventually and stuff as well. So.
But again, it took us an hour and a half. It's supposed to start at 8, and we didn't actually start watching until about 9:30. So
yeah, and apparently it was playing for some people and not others at some point. And I hope
somebody at Netflix getting fired.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And then an epic fail.
And even when it was playing, you were getting feedback because they had hot mics going on and everything, so the audio still wasn't that great half the time.
Yeah, you could hear staff members talking over some of the people. Like Marshall was trying to talk, and he's like, "What?"
He had distractions. Like, is there a voice in my head? Now, this wasn't their first live event, though, right? They did a Chris Rock one.
Did
anyone watch that? Did that go off without a hitch? I don't know.
Well, someone thinks Marshall is hiding anger issues. We said that early on, but I don't know, man. He is dealing with.
So Ray, let me address this. That's what I was thinking in the very first episode. I said there's something about him, and I really thought that was the thing. I haven't seen it since that beginning, but I don't know. So other people are picking up on it too. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. His anger issues are. I mean, you can see a little anger inside Marshall, but the way he just blows stuff off and he's like, "Look, whatever, it doesn't matter, because it's over. It's water under the bridge. Let's just forget about it." So I think even if he does. He's got the anger built inside. He handles it well just by saying, it's not even worth fighting about, right? So
I mean, God bless him. Who could deal with Jackie for that long? I mean, he was still willing too. That's the crazy part.
That was nuts, man.
If he has anger issues, then how did Jackie not bring that out?
Exactly.
And
she never mentioned anything like that's of all the crap she was saying about him, she never said he's got anger issues, right? So
he does what
Will Smith.
What?
Someone said Will Smith.
Oh.
Yeah, we thought he was the guy too, right?
That's right.
Yeah, if Jackie and Josh had shown up, there would have been like a Josh
that'd be cool,
Marshall
man.
face-off there, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really torn on whether Micah is playing victim or... I think she's really hurt by this, especially with her mom at the wedding and stuff. And I mean, granted, I know earlier on she was doing like stupid stuff, making fun of people, and kind of had a bully mentality. But I really think she was hurt from Paul saying no.
Yeah, no, I think she was hurt as well. I mean, like I said, I think she screwed herself by flipping the script on him, because I think he would have said yes if she said yes.
Hey, he was asked that, like, what would you have said? And he says, right, I would like to think I would have still said no, but I don't really know for sure. Yeah. And who could?
He said, my knee-jerk reaction is that, I would have probably still said no, but honestly, I don't know, right? Is basically how he said it. So.
And apparently he was talking to Zack, and Zack was like, he really was torn on what he was going to do. I'm like, this guy, like, surveyed the world. Like, what do you think?
Yeah,
Zack, like, seems to really have Paul's back. Like, they're best buds.
They're boys, no doubt about it. They're tight. But now, how about this, though, man? I thought what was cool, though, so the three couples that did make it evidently hang out quite a bit, right? So I mean, they had a lot of pictures of them hanging out like during the holidays, all matching swimwear and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. They're all still that tight. So that was
I thought that was really cool. To see like their apartments and how their life is. I wish I could have saw a little bit more of that, but because they go into some people like more than others. And
because we saw a good amount of Brett and Tiffany's apartment. We saw pretty much all of Kwame and Chelsea's. But then all we saw of
Zack and Bliss.
Was Zack singing.
Oh man,
we didn't need that.
I would have rather seen the apartment. Right. Yeah. That was a little hard to watch. Yeah. So Stephanie Ella is talking about Marshall here and his temper. So we're gonna go back to that real quick. So I did see him kind of struggling to keep his cool on stage. So I can kind of see that. And you're right. He left for 2 days when they had that big blowout argument, and he left. So I think he has anger management issues, or not management. I think he has anger issues, but I think he manages it well.
Right, manages it well, yeah.
I mean, he put a blanket on Zack when he was sleeping.
Exactly. Right? How are you going to get a man with that kind of heartbeat, right? But and that's the key, right? You can definitely tell he gets a little pent up anger, but he handles it well, right? I mean, and not one time did Jackie say, "Oh, Marshall's got anger issues," So I mean, she talked a lot of shit about Marshall, but none of the stuff she said was, "Oh, the dude's got anger issues." So.
Yeah. What else we got here?
Well, this one says no one mentioned Jackie's two-faced comments or insults towards Zack.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't really recall that myself, actually. But
I remember the one time at the pool, she did say some shit about Zack, like he's a weirdo or something. Yeah, she did say some stuff about Zack. I do remember that.
Yeah, well, Jackie's toxic.
But did she say something at the reunion? Did we miss that?
About Zack?
I didn't catch that.
She was so focused on putting down Marshall.
Well, Jackie went at the reunion.
Now, what do you think about Marshall, like, hooking up or going on a date with another cast member?
I didn't think a problem with that, man. I mean, she reached out to him like, hey, sorry.
If it went down the way he said it went down compared to Jackie, I guess.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Jackie's trying to say that he was trying to give her a ring, and Marshall's like, no, dude. He's like, and then he was like, what do you guys call dating? Because I went on one date with this woman. He's like, if you consider one date dating, then okay, we were dating. He's like, no. He's like, she hit me up, after Jackie and I broke up, and then, of course, Vanessa's like, well, how did she know? And Jack's like, or freaking Marshall's like, dude, everybody knew because social media,
Yeah.
He's like, it was going around the whole freaking crew, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, they all talk.
Right, exactly.
So.
Yeah, he's like, so like as soon as we broke up, like everybody knew, right?
And she went with, I don't understand why that's an issue for him to go on a date with somebody else when she's sitting here literally.
Making out with another guy, right?
Making out with another guy the same day she breaks up or the next day.
And he brings that up,
Yeah, he does.
Now. We seem focused on a lot of the drama. That's where it is. What about the good stuff?
Oh, dude, the good stuff.
Couples, Brett, Tiffany.
Like I said, Brett and Tiffany is probably the best couple we've ever seen on Love Is Blind. Aside from maybe
Lauren. You think?
Aside from Lauren, aside from Lauren and her man. So I mean, they're all on par, right? Those two couples are by far,
the maturest.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Well, it wasn't Jackie. I think it was Irina sent a text message to Bliss and said she dodged a bullet.
Yeah, Irina did, yeah. Yeah, Irina sent a text message to Bliss saying she dodged a bullet, and they caught Irina out on that, and she was like, yeah, that was pretty messed up of me to do. So.
Yeah. I mean, Zack was not impressed with Irina, but, like, he's willing to forgive her. Said she was on the show to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, and
which she was.
Yeah, and then they asked her.
I don't know if that's a good way for her to get famous, though, doing what she's doing at the same time, if that's her ultimate goal.
Well, that's infamy at that point, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was definitely a villain, no doubt about it. But, it's hard to say with a lot of these people why they really came on the show, right? I mean, and most people you like to think they came on there with the right heart and they're actually coming on there to find love, but who knows, man? And again, like we said before, there's so much shit behind the scenes that we don't see that Netflix freaking hides from us, right? And it is skewed. We're not really getting the full picture on any of the relationships, to be honest. Well, except the ones like Brett and Tiffany, where they're just there's no drama to show, right? Because there isn't any.
Yeah. I mean, this season didn't really bring a lot of surprises. I think Kwame and Chelsea was a surprise to most people, at least according to our polls. But the rest of them are kind of predictable, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so.
And normally they have like 2 or so that, you didn't see coming.
Well, there were 2 other couples. I don't understand why they don't follow all the couples that get married. I don't know if they just seem boring in the pods and they don't think it's a story worth following, but there are 2 other couples, and I did happen to see one of them that broke up on the plane leaving.
Really?
Yeah. And that didn't go well, but
yeah, I thought so too, JD. I thought at some point like Paul just like couldn't explain himself very well.
No, yeah, he was
Micah says he's very good with his words.
Right. Well, at first he was.
At first he was, exactly. At first he was, but then after asking him more questions, then it was just like, huh?
You mean his prepared statement
right.
that he came in with?
It's almost like him and Nick Lachey were playing chess, and then Nick Lachey was like one move ahead of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he had a prepared statement. It's like, he's going to ask me about this. I'm going to say this. But Nick was like, I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then even to the fact that, like, so they asked, when they asked Micah, they're like, hey, did you, I think it was Vanessa was like, I don't understand a word you just said. Like, she's like, are you getting this? And
Nope.
Micah's like, nah. She's like, well, what he told me when it happened, she's like, I understood what he was saying. She's like, but now he's saying something different. I don't get what the hell he's saying. So.
Yeah, because the whole mother thing, right? And they were like, what do you mean, like, she's a bad mother, or you don't think she'd be very nurturing?
Yeah.
Like, what gives you that impression?
Right, exactly.
Like, I feel the way I feel.
He's like, it's just there. It wasn't organic, and it wasn't there. And why didn't you talk to her about it? Well, I didn't want her to fake it.
Well, and then he did say, maybe part of it was my fault. Maybe I wasn't giving her the right vibes,
that.
So yeah. So it was good. At least he owned up a little bit. So
he kind of said like, yeah, that's on me, and but he did bring it around where he kind of doubled down on a little point.
He
said,
did.
Like, I never saw it.
Right, exactly.
So and he tried to say it was like a misunderstanding. Then he said, I never saw it. So it's like, which is it?
Right, yeah.
He didn't articulate it well.
Yeah, well, then, of course, when he said, yeah, we dated, for a couple weeks after the show, and then it just ended real quickly after that, I guess...
It ended really quickly after they went to Arizona.
Yeah,
what happened in Arizona is what I want to know.
Well, they didn't ask that, right? They didn't even try digging into that.
Yeah, I would like to know more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
maybe he was like,
and he said it ended pretty like abruptly.
Maybe he touched another bridesmaid's butt when he's in Arizona.
Man.
Now, did anyone convince you of anything like on this show with these apologies or anything like that? Do you think Irina was sincere? Do you think?
I think Micah...
Jackie didn't even apologize.
That's true.
Jackie,
she says she's grown, though.
Yeah, Jackie hadn't grown a damn bit. She's proved that by not coming on the show, right? And Irina, hell no, I didn't buy any of it. Micah's the only one I really was like, okay, I can see that Micah definitely felt bad about it. And, and Micah probably has grown, right? But the rest of them,
people don't agree with you.
To an extent.
Nicky Mac.
To an extent. But
Drunk Micah was crazy.
Drunk Micah was fun. Yeah. She was fun to watch.
Saying, you crazy bitch. Yeah, Drunk Micah was awesome. But again, I mean, when she hangs around people like Shelby and stuff like that, it's like, dude, you just like grow up, get some better friends, man, because those friends they're going to do anything but keep you down.
And we said it before. We've had a couple comments pop up on here. Shelby got let off way too easy.
Oh, hell yeah, she did.
I would have liked to see Shelby come on the
bring Shelby on here. Be like, why do you make those stupid faces when your friend's crying?
Why are you laughing at your friend and saying that you're glad that's how it went down when she's bawling her eyes out?
How about Jackie and Josh come on the show and we do a pre-recorded interview with Shelby? How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Something. Damn. Shelby got left easy.
Like I said, Josh and Jackie... pretty smart not to come on the show, I guess. They knew they were going to get some heat, and
but Irina showed up.
Yeah. Well, I give her that over Jackie.
And with Irina's not showing up like, okay, I'm showing up and maybe they'll say a little bit of good stuff about me. No,
but
she knows she is going to get
crocodile tears.
She knows she's coming there to get her ass.
That was hilarious.
But she knows she's coming there to get her ass hammered, and she came there and took the hammering, right? So whereas Jackie wasn't fucking willing to do it.
It's hard to sympathize. I mean,
you can't sympathize.
I'm a person that likes to see the good in everybody. I'm forgiving to a fault. It's a problem I have, but it is hard to watch someone who has bullied so many people kind of try to be the victim on stage, like to kind of request our sympathy in a way.
And blame mental illness for it. Yeah, I was like, dude, get the hell out of here.
What, the mental illness that she was going through? Like, somebody else mentioned in these comments too here, like she was having a panic attack under the pillow. No, she wasn't.
No, she wasn't. No,
no she wasn't.
I'm not buying this panic attack. She
was not crying. It was all bullshit.
I've had a panic attack.
I don't think you have panic attacks and then you go back to making fun of people doing all this kind of crap. You know what I mean? So
no. She treated him like complete garbage, and there is no defending anything she did.
She treated everybody like garbage, even her best friend in the house, Micah. Mm-hmm. So
I bet the show really had to do a number to get Irina on. Like, look, this is your chance. You've seen what happens, and she knows everyone hates her. So this is like your one opportunity. Come on the show, apologize, and win people over. Oh, yeah. And she tried, but I don't think it worked.
No, it didn't work, man. Nobody's buying that.
You didn't fool me. That's
again, we said it a minute ago. Like as soon as the first statement she made, right, and started crocodile tears, the whole audience started laughing at her, right? So. Yeah, nobody was buying it.
I'd like to respond to Stephanie Ella here, and I realize the boys don't want to respond to this probably, but I agree. I was never a fan. I'm not going to sit here and say somebody is ugly or beautiful. I guess I have said people are beautiful. But her makeup tonight, Irina, she looked good.
Oh, she did. No doubt about it.
She looked good. I was looking at her eyes. I'm like, how can I recreate that look in the eyes? Like, I was really obsessed with that
good
makeup.
Was Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany damn good.
She looked completely like a completely different person. Like
I think she looked a different person, but I think she looked more fit. She looked damn good tonight. Yeah.
Micah looked like she lost a little bit of weight too.
And Chelsea looked good. They all looked good, man. I thought they were all good.
Yeah, I really don't think anyone looked bad.
No, but the makeup specifically for Irina,
I have to
the eye makeup. I got you. I saw it.
I mean, Tiffany had like some sparkles going on.
Yeah, it was the shading with Irina. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
It was good. Look, other people noticed it. I noticed it. I got you. Yeah. Sorry, I took us off track there.
No, that's good, man.
Polishing a turd, though.
That's definitely
fair enough.
Definitely polishing a turd.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Man.
All right. Any other thoughts
Tiffany
on this reunion?
Look good.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I really, and I'm sure everybody else was too. I'm very curious about Kwame and Chelsea, man. I'm curious to see how long it's gonna last.
I think he might have turned a corner.
Yeah, maybe. I still think.
He was very lovey-dovey, saying my wife, and that Chelsea also looked good in that
Chelsea
little pink dress thing.
No, she did look good. Yeah,
we've not really seen a lot of love towards Chelsea from you.
Yeah, Tiffany, you're an anti-Chelsea dude, man.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, but
again, he still wasn't able to own up. He still didn't own up on camera though, like how it really went down with him and Mike in the pods, which we saw. Like he was totally shocked when she broke up with him. He was deflecting a lot of it. So I do just freaking.
I tell you, who got 100% off the hook is Chelsea though, for like her controllingness.
Yeah, she did.
They never bothered to ask her anything.
No, she made a statement about that. That a woman can say what she wants and go for what she wants. And like why is that a bad thing?
Well, dude, and it was funny when she said, and a lot of things I did were right for me, and they were right for Kwame. It's like, she said that shit. I was like, oh man.
Kwame said yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh man, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I think Kwame's all in on her now, though. So.
Yeah,
I
hope so, man. I really hope it works out for them. I really do. Yeah. Now, the other two, man, I've got. Freaking Brett and Tiffany and Zack and Bliss. Yeah, they're gold.
Yeah, I think this is probably some of the stronger couples from this show.
Yeah,
because I definitely see those two going the distance for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I do too.
And normally there's only about one per season-ish. So
well, like I said,
the first season had two, but I think that might be the only one that's still together.
Well, like I said, and the fact that it showed that all three of those couples seem to hang out on a regular basis and stuff, and that at least that right there, they have support from each other, right?
Yeah.
So that's good too, and I think that does nothing but help them, right? Because they're all tight and they've all been through this same process together, right? So they've got people that they can freaking lean on for this, right? So it was good.
Yeah.
Well, Jackie tried to give us some information on Marshall. I just don't know if I buy it.
Nah, it's bullshit.
Jackie promised us tea.
Yeah. Yeah, now
she tried to deliver that Marshall was hooking up with somebody else and
Zach is total coward.
Abusive and everything else.
Total coward, yeah. No, she's a total coward. She wouldn't show up.
Would you say garbage, trash, coward? Like, God, you got a lot of
all
names
the above,
for Jackie.
And there's a lot of other names I got for Jackie too.
Ooh.
But you know what's funny is, man, I bet Josh probably would have been cool coming, but I bet Jackie was like, hell no, we're not going. Yeah, I bet he'd have been fine going on the show. But I think freaking,
I think Josh is a little fooled by her too.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, man. Yeah, no, that woman's bad. It's only a matter of time before he figures it out. And when it seemed like one episode is that
she's grown.
Yeah, she ain't grown.
She's grown.
Yeah, she's a different person now.
Yeah, she looks back at that and she's like, "Who is that?"
Yeah, she's a different person, but yet she's dropping all these supposed truth bombs on Marshall, who's moved on, but she hasn't,
and still blaming Marshall for everything, right? Yeah, but you've changed. You're a different person. So get the hell out of here, man. Like, you're so different. Then come on the show and face everybody.
Yeah, would you say this is the season of like bad girls and dorky guys or something?
Yeah, I would say so for the most part. There was a lot. There's quite a few love triangles in this season too. So there's a lot. There was a lot more drama in this season than we see in some of the others. So that was, at least that was good.
There normally always is some type of love triangle.
Well, like I said, it has all the staples. You have
that's true. I don't know how they find these people, but they do.
You got the drunk person, you got the love triangle, you got going on the honeymoon, putting them all together, flirting with the person that they were in the pod with before, and then you got someone's always gonna break up on the honeymoon, like
mean girls and nerds. Yep, that should be the thing for this season.
Well, and like you said, there's more couples that actually hook up on the show. They just don't follow them all. They only follow a certain few. So I guess they follow the ones they think is gonna have more drama. And then they'll throw the one just super awesome couple in there, like Brett and Tiffany,
Yeah.
So
I don't know how they figure that out.
Is Jackie, you think, the worst villain every season?
She's pretty damn bad.
She's right up there. Who was the
Diamond's
drunk?
Man was pretty bad, too.
No,
Carlton.
the drunk one that led the guy on.
Oh,
she gave the wine to the cat.
Yeah.
What was her name?
I think. Shayna.
That's not Shayna. That was Shane's. She was also a drunk one.
Shayna was bad.
But no, the season before that. If anyone knows, put it out there. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, she was blonde too, right?
She was blonde.
Oh yeah, Zaneb was pretty bad.
Zaneb was bad.
Yep. Can't forget Zaneb.
That's right. Yeah, the way she did Cole, man. Yeah, you loved Zaneb.
Yeah,
man.
I was big on her earlier.
Yeah, you were.
I never liked Zaneb.
Yeah, Zaneb. I was kind of into Zaneb a little bit. But there you go.
Ray.
Yes, Jessica.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yep, Jessica was bad, no doubt. But I still don't think Jessica or Shayna.
She was like the OG villain.
Yeah, but I still. but when you look at like the caliber or the degree of the shit they pulled, I think freaking Jackie's still worse.
I think so.
I think she's still worse. I think she's definitely the top female villain on this.
She at least ended it. Jessica dragged it on.
What about Shake?
Oh, Shake.
Yeah, you can't forget Shake.
Yeah, Shake was the worst dude. Well, Bartiz is right up there with Shake too, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Shake was bad, man.
Yeah, Shake. Yeah, for guys,
Shake, Bartiz.
Yeah, Shake and Bartiz, man, those dudes.
Yeah.
But Shake's by far the worst.
Messica, Jessica.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh no, Ray loves Zanab. Cole was the villain. No,
I
disagree with you, Ray. I've been on point with you all night, Ray.
What the hell, Ray? You're crazy, man. I don't know what show you watch.
You gotta go back and rewatch.
right. Oh man, no, dude. Cole did nothing wrong. Did you not watch the freaking cutie scene when they went back and showed that he didn't do shit wrong on the cutie scene? I mean,
now Cole did mess up in the pool scene.
No, he did there. Yeah, he did when he was hitting.
No, he wasn't innocent. No, but Zanab was.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't.
No, but the stuff Zanab pulled, and and the fact that she had like all the girls on her side from all the crap she was telling them, I was like, come on, man, it was like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then freaking homeboy, what was his name? The one freaking whose wife had his balls in her freaking purse all the time.
Oh yeah, what?
Brennan or whatever. What was
Brennan.
his name?
Brennan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Brennan and what was it? Alexis?
Yeah, Alexis. There you go. Yeah.
She was easily
triggered. I like Brennan at first, but
she was easily triggered.
She turned him.
Oh yeah, she did.
She turned him. That's what's going to happen to Kwame.
Yeah, she would just do everywhere things. She do this.
That's Kwame's future.
Right. That's exactly right, man. No doubt about it.
His couch made it into the living room, though.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Couch, I mean, that was something I had said in a couple episodes where I said that I felt like Chelsea was trying to lift him up and drop him in her life. But
he's going to need that as a bed at some point.
That's right. He got his couch.
He'll be sleeping on that thing from time to time. Something tells me.
Oh yeah.
So,
but overall, it was a good show, man. Overall, it was pretty decent. I guess they didn't even tell us when the next season's coming out, did they?
No, but they did advertise the next show.
Yeah, they did.
They
advertised the ultimatum.
Yeah, the new ultimatum.
Did they give us a date? Did I miss that?
I don't recall.
We'll have to look at that.
Yeah. Was it Queer Love or whatever?
Yeah, Ultimatum Queer Love. So because they were going to call it season 2, and they're like, nah, we're going to call that one Queer Love, and then we're going to make a different one that's straight, and make that the season 2, right? So this is kind of.
I like the ultimatum.
So, it was good. Yeah, ultimatum was awesome, man. Definitely looking forward for another season of that. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And then Married at First Sight. I think we have to check that out. Maybe to start.
Yeah, Married at First Sight. That's another good one. Season 12 on Netflix. Check out that Chris guy. Chris, I mean, gives Jackie a run for her money. I'll tell you that. If you haven't seen that, you need to check that out.
Yeah, it's a shame that we weren't doing this when that came out, because that one was a good one.
Yeah, maybe we should start doing that show. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Yeah.
I don't like you, Vanessa Lachey.
Dang.
You let Jackie off too easy.
Look, I know we do this for the drama. Like, we like to watch it for the drama, but we do also like to watch it for the love stories. So I plead with Netflix to try to do a little bit better on getting some mentally stable people in there. Like, I do think that, I mean, somebody had made a comment earlier that they mix in these, like, unstable people or people that are there for the drama, and in hopes that people can actually weed that out. No, you don't. You put it in there for the drama.
Well, if you want some drama free, go watch Farmer Once a Wife.
That's right.
There's not too much drama going on that show.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
A lot less than this show, that's for sure.
Yeah, the only issue with that show is farmers can't figure out what the hell they want.
Yeah. So.
But.
Yeah. Therapy for the contestants. Agreed.
There you go.
I mean, that's another thing.
There you go. That's it. No
they
doubt.
do, on Married at First Sight, they do meet with a therapist and a pastor, like
Pastor Cal tries to set him straight.
Periodically in the first couple weeks. Like, because I think they're married for 8 weeks before they have to, like, determine whether or not they're going to stay married or something.
I like Married at First Sight, but it's long episodes and mini episodes. This show hits the sweet spot for the number of episodes, the editing, and all that. They do a good job. It's hard to beat.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is probably my favorite love show out there.
But they should provide them with some kind of therapy.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Well, they're all going to need it. So.
We might all need it too.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to be our show for today. It's a late one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, we appreciate all you guys chiming in and all the questions here. We love doing this with you guys. Yeah, it was really good. It was our first live show. It took us a couple tries. We were having some technical difficulties. Not as bad as Netflix was.
Netflix wore off on us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're looking forward to, I guess, maybe some ultimatum next. Hopefully a new season of Love is Blind. And, hey, if you guys got any ideas of love shows or, hell, any shows you want us to review, let us know.
We are doing Farmer.
Yeah, we're doing Farmer. We are doing Farmer Once a Wife. That show's a little slow right now.
It's picking up. Picking up.
But we're trucking through it, so.
Yeah.
But, hey, as always, we love you guys. We love doing this. And, hey, until next time, we'll check you out our next review.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
See ya.